so it doesn't want to stand. We'll see how it goes. Hope you're all having a good day. Putting the top under the jar. Oh, it was an interesting night, to say the least, last night. Um, some of the... Hey, Ron. How you doing, friend? Hope you're having a good day. Some of the interesting happenings of nomad life, living out of a tent, me last night. Oh, wonderful, Ron. I'm glad to hear it. Anything anything cool going on today? Did I miss anything? I caught a lot of Nathan's live stream this morning. It's so nice having Wi-Fi and being able to do that again. Just, I don't know, it's nice being connected back with all of you. I mean, it's not so much having the internet and all the stuff that comes with it, it's just being with you all, you know, back in the community. I love watching, it's not even so much watching the debates. Oh, awesome, Ron. If you don't mind me asking, are you at the ocean or on a lake beach? Hey, what do you say, Adam? Yeah, all the people out there making observations like Ron, hats off to you. It's one thing I didn't do enough of on my walkabout so far was make a whole lot of observations. Believe me, I've been thinking about stuff. It's not as though the stuff isn't in my mind. Oh, wonderful. I'm going to be going around the Gulf from Louisiana all the way down to Florida, pretty far down there. Yeah, maybe I'll see you one of these days as I'm passing through. I'm going to try to be camping along the beach as many places as possible on my way down there. Well, hopefully I'm going to be just driving a lot of it straight through. Two miles from I-10. Now, is that the same 10 that I'm on, that I've been taking from, does it run all the way out to California? Because I've been taking 10 all the way from California to Texas here. Oh, awesome. So I'm probably going to be 2 miles from you passing by. I'll definitely let you know when I'm in the area. Maybe we can get together on the beach and just say hi. Heck yeah. Make some observations together, you know? That'd be wonderful. I love I love meeting all these people that I get to see in the chats, and I've never been disappointed meeting flat earthers. It's never been, you know, a letdown. You guys are all so amazing. It's really heart lifting to know that there's so many good, honest, you know, people who are like-minded. It it really gives me a lot of hope for humanity. That there are enough of us out there that we can change this place, make a difference, you know. I had a interesting night last night. tent nomad stuff. It happens. It's happened before. I've had to sew up my tent a couple times now. Hey, Joey. Welcome, brother. The stuff you're doing is amazing, man. I have so much respect. Um, just putting it all out there, and I know you have a lot to lose, man, and it's inspiring to know that there's people out there like you that are doing it. It's makes me proud to you know to say that I even know you. We haven't talked yet, but it can change. But yeah, the stuff you're doing, man, and it's people like you that are gonna change this system and like it needs to be. It's it's the truth, man. You I know you inspire a lot of people, and the only reason you won't anything about you. I wish everybody had the gall that you have, the the cojones to lay it all out there and say this is the truth. Keep up truth, exactly. This is the truth, and that's what I'm going to share with people, whether you all like it or not. Take that. It's awesome, man. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I love waking up older people and all that stuff, but it's the children that are going to be the minds we need to be shaping. What you're doing is just awesome, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's paradigm shifting. You know, it's it's beyond anything that I've ever felt when I came to this realization. You know, it's this was a. I mean, I know we've been being lied to. For a long time I knew it, but not until this came out did I start a YouTube channel. You know, this was this is the key to waking people up right here. What we're doing. Yeah, I sold a hat yesterday to a gentleman over in Liverpool. Wish I could drop it off by hand, but that's kind of out of the question. But I I don't want to get his name wrong. IP Initiative Perspective, something I don't want to say it wrong. Yeah, shout out to you, brother. Thank you so much. Um, I've had to pull apart your hat a couple times now, realizing that well, you saw the one yesterday. I botched a little bit and pulled apart a row. The last one was just like half a row. Wasn't too bad. I actually was making it bigger than it needed to be. But oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ron. Hey, Phenomenon. Yeah, and spreading the truth, that's a big part of that. That is a very big part of the suffering that's going on. If you don't know you're being lied to by these people that you think are helping you, it's really hard to figure out why things aren't going right for you. If you don't know that these people that you trust and put your faith into are, are not looking out for your best interest, then it's going to be real hard to fix it. It's like the mouse depending on the cat to help it out. Yeah, woke up kind of perturbed this morning. I took it out on Hank a little bit. I felt horrible. I made it up to him though. I mean, I don't ever spank him or anything like that, but I was short with him when he was going to the bathroom this morning because it was it was chilly. It was about 40 degrees, and we were walking down the road, and it was windy. I was getting cold, and he was more interested in a dog behind the fence down the way than he was going to the bathroom. And I was snapping at him, and I never do that. But I made it up to him. I, apologized, and we did our cuddling and our loving. And I feel horrible when I do that. But yeah, I had one of the supports. Here, I'll show you. You can see it back there. There's a, where's my hand at? Oh. Right here. There's a support pole that goes into each corner. Hey! I spy nasally. How you doing, sweetie? And the top thing that holds it right there broke off last night. It was real windy out here in the El Paso desert. And that thing broke off. And all that really happened was it fell down. And like an idiot, put it up there and I propped it up with my cooler. And of course, without that support that's sewn in there, holding it up, another big gust of wind came and pushed the tent down and ripped. Look at this. The biggest hole yet. I've had to sew it up a few times. But that rip goes from there to there. Nice big long one. I found that I was in a bad mood. I got it all taken care of. I was sewing for about an hour this morning, fixing it up. Getting it, back to where it's not going to leak and doesn't have a big giant hole in it. It was a good lesson in patience. I failed the lesson at first, but I came around to it. And that's what a lot of this place is lessons. That and patience is a big one of those. Especially when it comes to spreading the news about the flat earth. Not so much patience with trolls and stuff like that. Today was the first time I was picking on a troll in a long time. Usually I just ignore them completely and don't, but Adam got a little fire under my butt and we were picking on, I'm not even going to mention his name. He doesn't even merit a name drop. But yeah, we made him change to a sock and then pretty much got him to admit that he was that sock account. It was great. It was fun, It's been a long time since but I came to the realization that when we're picking on trolls and we get their attention on us, we get their attention focused on us, that's one less newbie that they're going to be bothering and messing with. That's one less person that they're going to be focusing on that is searching for the truth. So it is somewhat of a service, Yeah, I have a couple ideas on what the sun is and how it works. If you go into my perspective playlist, I have the one Does the Sun Moon. I miss you too, Candy. It's yeah, I've been doing really well. I'm actually heading to Adams. I was in looking at the California border from Arizona right on the Colorado River just a couple days ago. Hey, Constance, how you doing, sweetie? And now I'm in Texas now. Just a day. I'm gonna hang here at this spot and see if I can't sell some hats and just make some hats for the road. But it things have been wonderful. The love and the support that I'm getting from you all is it keeps me going. Oh, that's awesome. You guys definitely got to get together. Because you were just in North or South Carolina, I think? Out there on the East Coast? About 1,700 more miles. Not too long. That's right, Adam. Oh, Travis just sent me a. Let me see if I can't send this. Oh, it's not going to let me. He just asked me where Crocheters Corner is. Oh, I think I can share it. Let me see. Hold on, give me one sec. Best, so you don't rip it and shred it, trying to sew it together. Put a nice piece of packing tape over it and like fold it. So you have the ends meeting up in a nice straight line. Kind of like here, I'll show you. Let me get this piece of toilet paper. Say your rip is running through the middle here. You fold it so both ends are meeting up real nice like this, and then you put your piece of packing tape over it. And you get it to stay right there. And then you sew along that crease. If you don't, and you just try sewing it together, since it's a real thin fabric, it'll just start ripping. So that packing tape kind of gives you a little more support to sew together. And then what I'll do is once I'm done doing that, I'll take another piece of packing tape and put it over the inside and the outside to then waterproof it. And it's been working so far. I haven't had a real bad rain since I've ripped. I got 3 holes, 2 in the center pole, the center mast going up right here, and then that was the newest one. But we fix things. Can't is not in our vocabulary. Hard can be in our vocabulary. It may be hard, but there is no I can't do. We can do whatever we put our minds to. And Flat Earth has taught me that a lot. Flat Earth is, figuring out how this place works. If you sit and think on something enough and ponder it, and maybe do a little experimenting or testing, you know, we can figure out so much. And I don't even like using experiment or test. When I do stuff, I'm playing. I play. I get my lasers and lenses and I just play with them and see what I can't make them do. Or I get my Van de Graaff generator and I play with it. It's fun. Just got back to the word can't. There's nothing you can't do. I have faith in you. That's what I thought. Yeah, sold another hat yesterday. Felt great. Um, Here on YouTube. Actually sold two. Actually, I traded one because it's a few bucks a night to stay here, and it's totally worth it. um, any place that has a toilet and a shower, and he even has a rec room here that you can go and hang out and do your cooking out of the elements and stuff like that. What are dews? DEWs. This place is, and the owner's just a really cool guy. This is the second time I've been here in the last few months. I stayed like 3 or 4 days last time I was here, and he had bought 4 hats off me to sell in his shop. And now it's starting to pick up, and he sold one. He put the price up a little bit higher than me, but hey, that's for him to do, you know. Oh, direct energy weapons. Yeah, and that's not even a conspiracy theory. They admit that they have these. Using microwave technology and things like that, dispersing large crowds where their skin will feel like they're on fire in a certain area and stuff like that. I mean, they have videos showing this stuff. Hey, Dire Straits. How you doing, Mike? Always a pleasure to see you hanging out. You making the world level today? Thanks, Midnight. Yeah, it's a fun skill to have, crocheting. Especially when I don't, now that once you get past the you're making it bigger, here, I'll teach you what I do. In the center here, you start with 5 loops. And the very first set of crochets, you do a double crochet. That's where you crochet the loop and then you put another crochet in that same loop. So you go from 5 to 10. And then the next row, you do one, single one, and then a double one all the way around, which take you up to 15. And then the next one, you do 2 single ones and then a double one. So what you're doing is you're making the circle bigger and bigger and bigger by one, well, really it's 5 at a time, 5 crochet loops each time you go around. And I do that up to 15. That's about the average head size. See, and the neat part about the hemp is they're big when you get them. You know, they'll be big enough to fit on just about everybody's head. I'll make them bigger when people say, "Hey, I have a size 7.5 head," because I have a 7.25 head, which is it's big, and I always make it to be really they're big on me to where it probably fit a size 8 person. So I make them real big, but when you wash it and dry it, it shrinks to fit somebody that's like a size 5 or 6. Yeah, Fibonacci. Yeah, that's why I do it. It's magical the way that it all works. You can see the spiral in it. I love it. And then once I get to the size I want, which I already did, I always mark it. It's let's see. Right here you can see my placeholder. That's 15 loops, or 15, and then I go 16, 17, 18, and I'll go all the way up to 24. I like doing sequences of 3. I can't wait to see your your newborn's head. It's so cute. It's so small, but sequences of 3. Always sequences of 3. I don't. I. It's it's what the universe tells me to do, and I've learned to listen to that. Some people call it the universe. Some people will call it their gut, but it doesn't lie to you, folks. It's it's like your moral compass and your guide, and listen to that little thing inside you. That little thing that told you when you were a little kid, when you did something wrong and you were just like, wow, I shouldn't have done that. That feels bad. It's not so much a voice as it is a feeling. Listen to that feeling. That feeling is, that's Mother Nature, that's the creator, whatever you want to call it. It's telling you what we already know. Me too, Adam. It's going to be paradigm shifting what we're going to do. Hanging out together, teaching each other all this new stuff, and learning and troll hunting on Nathan Oakley's debates. Oh, that was fun this morning. Yeah, intuition is everything. Out here on the road, I've really listened to it a lot. I the first the first week, I don't want to call them shady characters, but they just seemed to me like they weren't really all that stable. They were, well, that can be a good thing, Mike. You enjoy your day off, man. You get some rest and relaxation, and you know, enjoy the day. Make it yours. I forget what I was saying now. I always do that. My short-term memory is horrible. Oh, I hope Travis jumps in. I was gonna check. I just remembered. God, my memory is so bad. My short-term memory for remembering things that like need to be done, and then that'll be it. It'll be over. And yeah, that memory is bad. But the one that remembers, like I can remember stuff from when I was 3 years old at the house I, you know, lived in first before, because we moved when I was just turning 4. And I've got all kinds of memories from that house. People say, oh, that's crazy. There's no way. There's people that don't remember things from when they were 8 or 9 years old. That's when they say they start remembering things. It's really weird. It's I don't know. It's just hard for me to fathom not remembering things from way back when. I think one of my memories is getting a splinter taken out of my foot, and my mom was standing there over me, and my brothers and sisters were all standing around her. And it was a splinter from the wooden staircase going down into the basement. I remember riding around on my brother's back. I had a cardboard castle in the living room, and I was He-Man, and he was my cat. My kindergarten teacher, Mrs. McDaniels. I wouldn't know her. I remember what she looked like back then. My gym teacher, Mrs. McLeod. First grade, Mrs. Ensign. Second grade, Mrs. Sheehy. Third grade, Mrs. Reese. Fourth grade, did I already say Mrs. McKenzie? Yeah, no, first grade was Mrs. Ensign. Second grade, Sheehy. Third grade, Mrs. Reese. Fourth grade, Mrs. McKenzie. And fifth grade, Mr. Reba. The principal while I was there in elementary school was Mr. Gross. I remember like first or second day of elementary school, this one kid kept crying and screaming because his mom had left. Just for like the first week, every day when his mom would leave, he would just be bawling and screaming and running down the hall trying to get her. And I remember always feeling so bad for him. I don't remember his name though. He wasn't there very long. I remember in fourth grade, when you first start getting the notion of liking girls and stuff like that, when they're not gross and have cooties anymore. Um, we had an assembly line at recess, writing down this one girl's phone number and passing it out to everybody. Julie Talcott was her name. Oh, yeah, a lot of memories, a lot of good memories from way back when. But I have one of those. It's like a photographic memory. I see the memories. That's how I remember them. It's not that I just remember the name or this and that. I remember their faces, and then the name comes to me. Yeah, one of my favorite, well, not anymore, but it used to be one of my favorite lines. And it wasn't really a song, it was Pearl Jam. Eddie was just talking. But he said, at 5, I believe the moon overhead followed me. By 9, I traded that, or I deciphered that illusion, trading magic for fact, and no trade backs. If I only knew now what I knew then. Oh, I just got chills saying it. So this is what it's like to be an adult. If I only knew now what I knew then. So is he saying that the moon overhead does follow you? That we all have in our own sun? That just, yeah. And I always used to think all these people were, no, I haven't. The Alchemist by Paulo. No. I didn't finish that Harry Potter movie last night either, but it was all about the secret society families and certain ones wanting to make themselves known to our world and show that they're in charge and be, not just have a couple of them out there as the kings or queens, but all of them to be known to us muggles. And of course, the way I look at all movies and stuff like that, the good guys are the bad guys and the bad guys are the good guys. No, I'll definitely have to give that a read for sure. Thanks, Midnight. In 160 pages, you can knock that out in no time, especially when it's a good read. Oh man, I can't wait to start gardening again. Getting my hands into the dirt and getting my hands around some horse poop, some compost, touching plants again. I mean, I touch plants while I'm out here. Took a couple pictures of plants today. Desert blooms, just gorgeous. Just plants blooming in December just blows my mind. Because where I'm from, northern Indiana, actually there is one plant that blooms right around now. Um, my mom actually has one in her front yard. I forget what it's called, but it gets big red flowers. It's a bush. Looks like it has plastic leaves, and it gets big red flowers on it. Hydrangea bush, maybe? I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But that's about the only plant up there in Indiana that isn't either dormant or dead this time of year. A lot of perennials up there in Indiana where they look dead. They'll lose all their leaves and it'll be twigs and this and that, but very next year, that same plant will start growing leaves again, just like a tree. It's Plants are amazing, folks. They are. The stuff that they can go through, we couldn't do. You know, a lot of the animals up there are amazing. How they live through the winters and stuff is just it's a miracle. Yeah, and they hear you, Constance. They do. Your plants. I actually started talking to my tent today. It's one thing I haven't done yet on this whole journey, this whole trip, was communicate with it and tell it how wonderful of a job it's doing and how much I appreciate it. But I let it know today. After what it went through last night, I was just it's it's been a good friend, sheltering me from the elements and giving Hank and I a little bit of security. Because I know I've heard animals right outside the tent, from elk to coyotes. Um, I'm sure there's been big cats right outside the tent. Some of these places I've stayed, but and they could go through it no problem, but they don't. And that just, yeah. So I was thanking it this morning and apologizing for being so neglectful towards it. I talk to my truck all the time. Every time we're going for long rides, you know, 5 to 10 times during that trip, I thank it and let it know, wow, you are an amazing friend, and I appreciate you so much. And I've always told it that I'm going to drive it until it can't be driven anymore. I'd love to put 1,000,000 miles on my truck. And I'm not too worried about what it looks like on the outside, you know. But I try to keep everything on the real important stuff. Everything grows out of the rain. Everything comes from that one thing up there. And the rain is how it is dispersed. According to alchemy, rainwater isn't predetermined to any one of the three kingdoms. That's right, Adam. The paint job doesn't get me home. It's the brakes and the tires and the engine and, you know, the lights and all that stuff, the cooling system, all that stuff is, they're amazing. Vehicles are amazing, especially if you give them a little TLC and you treat them nice. They'll they'll keep getting you where you need to go. That's for sure. I had people tell me because she doesn't look all super pretty, you know. I've used that truck. She's hauled shingles. She's hauled all kinds of manure. Oh, I love Creosan. Now I haven't seen his DIY truck. I've seen a lot of his stuff, but she's hauled all kinds of stuff. She's been through it. She's got scratches and the tailgate's all dented in from my boss, actually, the one of my roofing bosses backing up a dump truck into it. Yeah, yeah, they care about what the outside looks like rather than the important stuff. And you're gonna always have people like that. The same people that, don't take care of their bodies but care more about what their hair looks like and things like that than that pain that they're having every single second of their life on the inside of their body. That they just forget about. Yeah, yeah, I just got him right before I went live. I love that, the Red Rocket. That just cracked me up. It made me think of Cartman. Red Rocket, Rocket Boy. Come on, Red Rocket. That's one show I do miss. I miss South Park. And not so much the older stupid ones when they first started out, but the ones that are all political satire. Those guys can get away with saying so much because the population is so fluorinated. This is one, two, three, the fourth vehicle I've owned, and I'm 40 years old. And I've had this one for 14 years now. I love her. Don't care what she looks like. She can. The cosmetic stuff isn't nearly as important to me as her being healthy on the inside. She's been a wonderful friend. No, first car I had, I paid $50 for. It was a 1981 Grand Marquis, giant boat. It was like a tank. I never tried it, but I could probably run over a telephone pole. And I paid $50 for it. The engine was all locked up. Me and my stepdad pulled it apart, pulled the heads off, ripped them apart, acid dipped it. Had a lot of work that we put into that car. And I killed it in like 2 years. It didn't take too long. When we were putting on one of the, it had four catalytic converters. When he was putting it on, my stepdad, he kind of crimped it, so it had a slow oil leak, very slow. And I started running into radiator problems, and I was 16 to 18 at the time. Yeah, Adam, that'll be awesome. Can't wait to get her in tip-top shape again. She'll be so happy. Like I said, I want to put 1,000,000 miles on her. She's been Like I said, a wonderful friend. And that's the thing. I think just talking to her even and telling her how much I appreciate her has really helped her keep going. That may sound crazy, but I'm an alchemist. Oh, what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, my short-term memory's so bad. But the rain in alchemy. There's three kingdoms in alchemy: the plant, the animal, and the mineral. And the rain is what grows everything. The rain turns everything into what it is. But what happens is when the rain falls, if the rain hits a plant, it will then be determined part of the plant kingdom. It will, in one way or another, it becomes a plant. And then if it hits a rock, it becomes part of the mineral kingdom. If it hits an animal, it will be part of the animal kingdom. And that's how alchemy works. They say many alchemists have grown, gems. They've grown plant life out of nothing but rainwater. They say you can grow living organisms, animal kingdom, out of nothing but rainwater. If you know the recipe. The recipe is so important. How much heat for how long of a period of time, and how much of this and how much of that, and it's all about breaking it down into oh it's so complicated the way that they do it. If your mind around it, it's really not. It's fascinating, and they claim that they've. I mean, the Emerald Tablets of Hermes Trismegistus. He says right there in the tablets, supposedly I can't read it, but that he grew the tablets himself. The emerald tablets were not emeralds that were found in the ground and then carved into, that he grew them alchemically. And if that's true, that's awesome. That's something that people used to be able to do, and they've hidden this knowledge from us, this power that we have. And I'm really not even into the mineral kingdom. I didn't get into alchemy for any other reason but to heal people, to make real medicine, to take plants that I can go and grow myself and turn them into tinctures and salves and little pills that I can then give to people and cure their illnesses. So instead of taking a pill for the rest of their life that's really rat poison, I can give them cayenne pepper pills that will moderate their blood pressure and keep it nice and level and at a certain, it's, I know it sounds crazy, but that's real magic. I am really enjoying the time that I get to do this with you guys. Oh, I can't wait, Adam. We're going to share so much knowledge with each other. We already have, really. You've taught me a lot just in the last couple weeks, having our chats and stuff. Oh, thank you, Constance. Yeah, it's great just conversing with like-minded people. What are you doing, babes? What are you doing? You shaking? You shaking out the bacon? Come here. You want to say hi? No, come here. Come here. No, you don't want to come here? Well, we're not going to go for WLALK yet. Not just yet, okay? Dad's working. I know. I know you want to go do stuff and hang out and play and be off that leash. Hey, Roy. Been thinking about you, man. Every night, every morning, I try to send some good vibes your way. Send some good vibes to the newest member of Adam's family. Send good vibes really to... I send them to everybody, but yeah, you will. You keep that attitude up, and this will all be a distant memory here one day. It'll be one of those, remember when that happened? And I kicked the shit out of it. You stay positive, brother. If you ever just want to shoot the shit, man, um, I'm pretty sure Becky has my number. Yeah, if you're ever feeling down and just need to let some stuff I don't want to worry Becky about, you know, it helps to get stuff out. That stuff isn't good to hold inside. So if you need, I know you got people there supporting you. Lots of people loving you all around you. That's important. I just want to let you know you got one more out here. If you ever need to get some stuff off your chest and you don't want to bother anybody else with it, I'm pretty good listening. And you can do this. I know you can. You have that power. Yeah, I saw you were... Will do, Adam. Yeah, Adam's a really good guy. There's a lot of great people out here that I've met through YouTube and stuff like that that are just... They're willing to give their time to anybody that, you know, that needs it. That's what this is all about. This is about starting our community and just giving off that love and that care and that support. It does more than you could possibly fathom. Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to hit the road and never look back again. Have to meet up when you guys are traveling. There's going to be some good times sitting around a fire. I love your wife. She made work so... We didn't get to hang out too much. She was always in her office. But me being the lead person there for so long and her being in quality control and stuff, we had to communicate. Aw, Candy, thank you. That gave me chills, sweetheart. You're gonna make me start crying or something. Gotta fight back those tears. Yeah, but Nikki is an amazing woman. We had a lot of fun when I was working there. She made work a little bit easier. Always. And when she wasn't there, it was known. Hey, if any reason that you have, man, any reason you have to want to stick around that's medicine right there. That's the stuff that keeps us going. Yeah. Well, I could tell you guys were on your little journey not too long ago. She was having a blast. I could see it in the pictures you guys were sharing. and even just the pictures she was taking. Um, Whenever you guys would go do the reenactments and stuff, God, she had so many stories to come back and talk about Monday morning. She's she really enjoys that stuff and loves it. And just her sharing all that stuff with me, I mean, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about, you know, where battle took place and this and that. And yeah, you have an amazing wife. And I'm glad she's got a good guy like you. She never had anything bad to say about you. Not once did I ever hear her talk down about you. As lucky as you are to have her, she's that lucky to have you. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, we really connected and bonded. Um, like I said, she's an amazing woman, and it wasn't hard to love Becky, that's for sure. Or Beck. Wasn't and I'd come in some days and I'd see that she was in a bad mood already, and the first thing she would do is go walk around and find out what was, especially Monday mornings. Good Lord. She would come in and be like, they did this the whole weekend and they let it run like this, and these people aren't doing their jobs and yada yada yada. And I'd do my best to try to calm her down a little bit and just get her back into her happy groove self. And after a few hours, she'd calm down and we'd get everything situated. I'd go over and fix the flamer or fix the baby labeler, or I'd get on maintenance for her. A lot of times the maintenance guys, oh, she's just complaining about this, and you know how I'm sure she complains about Dave. I'm sure you've heard stories about it. Yeah, I want her to quit there too. Yeah, they take advantage of her hard work. That's for sure. Because she's one of the people there that actually cares. And it's so hard to do your job right when you're the only person that cares, and then you try to get other people to start doing their job and fix things, so you know your job is actually done, and getting some of these people off their butts to do their jobs is like pulling teeth. That's why I always would try to do it for her. She'd come up to me and be like, hey, they're not going to listen to me, so will you go tell them that this is wrong or that's wrong? And usually I'd try and go and fix it myself. um, like I said, they were training me to be a supervisor. Yeah, what are you going to do, Ray? I've been in that boat before too. And you would be amazed at how many people come into that place messed up on so many types of different things. And the people running the place know it. There's one guy, I'm sure she's talked about him. Yeah, there's people that come in there tweaking on meth, that are operating very heavy machinery and stuff like that. And they just turn a blind eye. The oil that goes into the ground, oh my gosh. It was so hard not to call. There you go, Rory. That's all. That's the best medicine there is. But so many, I mean, OSHA's been called a number of times there, but I was getting ready to call the EPA for the amount of oil that was just being dumped into the ground. You don't hear too much about that, though. All the accidents and stuff that are caused by drinking alcohol, they don't put that in the news. But you get arrested for carrying around one joint or something like that, and it's headlines. God forbid you got into an accident while intoxicated on marijuana. They would say, "Oh, it was caused all by that." Yeah, by the time I was working there, it you didn't even want to step on the floor. The amount of oil that's going into the ground at that place. Jeez. It really if it wasn't for the love that I had for all the people working there. Oh, that's awesome. I knew Bill Doolin was going to change it. That's a Bill Doolin thing too, isn't it? That's not an Indiana State thing. I'm sure other places in Indiana. I'm sure other places in Indiana they'll arrest you for a, but Bill Doolin, he's a cool sheriff. He actually caught a lot of shit for they tried to say he was promoting gun violence because he got on the news and told everybody, "Come on down here. Anybody from our county, you come down here, $25, and we'll give you your permit." For we gotta do a background check, of course. Make sure you don't have any warrants or anything like that, or any felonies. But you come down here, $25 for a year, or $100 for a lifetime. We'll get you your ability to carry your gun. They said he was promoting gun violence on the news. It's like, no, he's promoting the exact opposite of gun violence. When everybody's carrying a gun, the criminals are less likely to pull it out and try to use it. I'm sorry, I get off on these gun rants. I just can't stand the propaganda that is displayed, even in a state like Indiana. But being so close to Chicago, it's, oh man. Yeah, I mean, Bill Doolin. Oh, it's buffering again. I'm sorry, guys. For what? You know, I've heard a lot of negative things about him, about his, personal business. But as far as a sheriff goes, he's an amazing sheriff. And that's important to me to have somebody that's, fighting for my rights. A lot of people don't know, but the sheriff is in charge of your county. The FBI, the ATF, the DEA, they're supposed to go and ask him. Yeah, I'm not saying as a person. I know Bill has his own problems and his many faults, but as far as being a sheriff, I think he was doing a pretty good job. At least while I was there. A lot of the stuff he did was the coroner, really. I did not know that. Tell them to get out of here. You don't. This is my jurisdiction, and you have to listen to what I say. But I'm all about learning something new. Wow, that's awesome. So who the coroner is really actually very important because I always thought that was who cares who the coroner is. why are we even voting on that? But that makes a lot of sense that they get voted in as well. And Stark County was so corrupt as it was. I mean, the town of North Judson didn't have a mayor for, geez, at least 7 or 8 years. They had their city council that was all good old boys and good old gals. Chief of police was crooked. Yeah, Stark County was, it was all backcountry dealings, and but you're going to get that in a lot of places. I bet a lot of places are like that. You'll get the few and far between that are good places. Oh, I'm going to need to sit back. I'm going to change the view here a little bit so I can lean back in the chair. Oh, that feels better. There we go. Just make sure y'all can still hear me all right. Oh, I know all about the right to remain silent. I like the, when a police officer pulls you over, at least here in the US, the first thing they're going to say is, I need to see your license and registration. And the first thing that you should say is, can you please give me the reason that you pulled me over? Do I have a tail light out maybe or something like that? Is there, does, do you have, is there, do you think that I might have been speeding? Oh, I missed all that one. Oh. To the Army of the Dead. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to really think about Jon Snow. How long ago was that written? Yeah, the English language is very cryptic. And there's a lot of words that sound exactly the same that have different meanings. That's one reason I don't tell people good morning. It's nothing to do with trying to be rude or. There you go, Roy. Yeah, be prepared. But people say good morning. And morning has, two different meanings. There's morning like the sun coming around and making itself visible again. And there's morning, you know. So you're wishing somebody a good morning, a good sadness. And I'm not mourning the night leaving, ever. I welcome the sun. And I'm sad to see it leave. I enjoy the stars, don't get me wrong, but I don't ever mourn the sun coming up. Coming around, I should say. I don't ever mourn that. So I don't tell people good morning. Say howdy. Or how do you do, ma'am? Or just hello. One of the maintenance guys at work, we always would pick on each other. Pardon my language, everybody here. But he'd say, morning, Zach, because he knew I didn't like to say good morning. And I'd say, yeah, fuck off, Dave. Iru! How we doing, man? Love you, brother. It was so great meeting you. Being able to give you a hug. Um, I've been speaking with a couple of the guys about translating some of your guys' work into English, and which, yeah. But I was asking him which ones he wanted me to start on, and he wasn't sure. So if you have any idea of which videos, yeah, you guys would like to be, um, I think we're in a couple Skype chats together. Or I'm just Good Times for All on Skype. The ones on Gravity. Okay, you have to put a couple of them. We'll get together on Skype, and you just link me to them, and I'll have the people I've been getting with about translation. I'll get them to them, and we'll get them translated ASAP. Because I think that's so important. And it's got to start somewhere. We can't do every language all at once, but I think if we get the ball rolling, more people that know more languages will start helping us out. But I think it's very important. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think it's important we share these ideas with each other, and language is one of the ways that they divide us, and we need to break through that barrier. Yeah, yeah, send it to me via Skype, and we'll start getting all these things translated and get the ball rolling, and hopefully it'll light a fire under our... Oh, Eru, it's my pleasure. It's a great idea, you know? Thank you guys for bringing it to my attention. I am in El Paso, Texas right now. On my way to actually Adam McKinsey. I'm gonna go hang out with him, and we're gonna put some good work in and share some knowledge and really get stuff rolling again. At least on my end. I've been lacking in the community, everybody, and I'm sorry. I know I haven't been doing my part as much lately. Um, Not having the internet, not having all my toys to play with, and spending a lot of time crocheting. I'm still thinking about stuff a lot, but I know I haven't been doing West Bradenton, Florida. I think that's how I spell it or say it. Yeah, we're gonna. Nope, I'm gonna be there soon, and we're really gonna start hitting it and getting it going again, and I can't wait. Not only to get back into the community, Braden, Tucky, but not only getting back into the community, but getting back to sharing knowledge with people and learning. Adam's got so much knowledge that I crave. I want to learn about, and it's going to be an awesome time. It's going to be paradigm shifting again. The paradigm never stops shifting as long as you keep learning and keep that ball rolling. Is that one up there? Alabama. Well, this weekend I won't be that far. I'm probably gonna be in Louisiana. Well, I'll be in Dallas on Saturday. I have a old elementary school buddy that I haven't seen in years. We just got back together talking and stuff, and I'm gonna go stay just one night with him. I don't like being in the cities and stuff like that, but I'm gonna spend one night there with him, and then I'm gonna be heading to Louisiana for early to mid next week, hopefully early next week, to visit Walt Johnson again, my fellow IRM member, my FEmily. I mean, you guys are all my family, but yeah, I visited him. I actually made a pretty good detour. I went from Missouri on my way to New Mexico and ended up in Louisiana. But it was so worth it. He has a wonderful family. I saw a lot of amazing things on the way and there, so I don't regret any of it for 1 second. I can't wait to see him again. It's going to be a nice little reunion. And there's people are so wonderful. I visited Josh first, Josh Corey there, and he, after we hung out for about 4 or 5 days, I was ready to get to New Mexico, and he was like, "Hey, anytime you want, man, you come back and stay a month next time if you want." And that kind of stuff just, yeah, they are the best, man. But when people tell you that stuff, it just makes you feel good. It makes you feel, so welcome. And his girlfriend said the same thing. You're always welcome here. You're always. And then I went down and visited Walt, and I know his lady was very worried about having a flat earther crazy guy from the internet, a fellow flat earther come and hang out and stay. And I stayed for. All right, Phenomenon. Take care. And by the time I was leaving, she told me herself, "You can come back and stay, anytime. If you need a month to come and stay and get back, get things right, and this and that." And that's so heartwarming. People that you've never really met before, even just opening their home to you. It makes me feel like I'm doing something right. Like I'm just being the good person that I try to be and want to be. Two more rows. But yeah, I don't regret any. Yeah, Roy, I mean, it's not a big deal. But please don't call it a belief. That's the one thing that flat earthers don't do is we don't believe in anything. We stop believing what we were told. And we go out and we test things. And I'll say it, I've said it before, I'm not a flat earther. I am a globalist denier. I know we are not on a spinning rock floating through space. I've done all the experiments and the tests myself. Yeah, we don't believe anymore anything. Most of us. Some do, don't get me wrong, but me, I don't believe anything. I've I've tested and I've experimented and I've if you wanna see the flat earth for yourself or know that you're not on a ball 24,901 miles like they tell us, just go to Michigan City Beach. It's a great time of year to do it. Go when it's nice and dry and the humidity's low, and go up there and stand on Michigan City Beach and look at the Chicago skyline. Yeah, yeah. All you have to do is look at the skyline, and if you can see more than 12 buildings, then you will know yourself that they are lying to you. It's that simple. I mean, this is the one thing that they can't hide from us. They can hide a lot of things from us. Yeah, seeing is knowing. Yeah, I don't believe anything. I used to. I used to believe things that I was told. But then when I started testing it and looking at it with an open mind, you realize that things aren't what we've been told. And it is life changing to discover this stuff. And it's not so much the shape of the earth. Trying to figure out the shape of the earth or knowing that it's not a ball is not is not what changes your life. It's knowing that the people that are in charge of us and that we put in charge and that we, put our faith into have been lying to us our whole lives. And I'm not talking about our teachers and a lot of them, they're just regurgitating what they've been taught and what they believe. But there are people out there that know these things. And they are absolutely 100% lying to us. And that's what I'm trying to get out to people. We can't change this system if we don't know the people running it are not looking out for our best interests and are flat out telling us lies about so many different things. These wolves in sheep's clothing that we put our faith into. Yeah, it is. That's why I said it's a paradigm shifter. It's not going to change science or physics or things like that. It's going to change everything. That's why there's so much blowback on this topic. That's why you have people porn bombing live streams that flat earthers are doing. I had never heard of porn bombing before flat earth. Adam and I were talking about that this morning. There's so many tactics and so many trolls that have been hanging around for years trying to discredit anybody new from even looking into this topic. God, why is that arrow not gone? There we go. But yeah, it's to me it's got nothing to do with the shape of the place we live. Because I don't know. But it has to do with the fact that we're being lied to. By people that we put our trust and faith into. By people that take $53 million every single day from us to lie to us. That is annoying. Do you know how many people we could feed and clothe and give shelters to with $53 million a day? We could help a lot of people with that kind of money. Or the trillions that we spend on a military budget that we don't need. Yeah, I don't get mad at it about it anymore, Roy. I used to, but it's you kind of get used to it, But it's growing at such an exponential rate now that there are less and less of those people, and there's more and more people waking up to the idea every day. The genie it's Pandora's box. It's open now. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Travis, A Plain Truth, said it best. Before 1913, when they started the Federal Reserve and started collecting all these taxes on us and things like that, we had a military, we had roads, we had railroads, we had schools, things that we need. Or all these things that we've come to think that we need. Oh, is that you? Yeah, we've had all these things forever that, without them collecting our taxes. So why do we need to collect taxes now? They can just tax certain products and make enough money to... What it is without collecting all these taxes and all this money, they can now pay themselves after they retire hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they get to vote on this. Hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for the rest of their lives because they sat in an office for a while. You know, because they lied to the people well enough and slowly take away our rights. They get to be paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to do nothing. And I'm sorry, but that's wrong. I don't think politicians should be paid squat. Yeah, politicians should get... Oh, I'm missing one. Yeah, a lot can happen in the few minutes it's going to take the police to get there, if they can even get there that quick. That's why it's up to us to protect ourselves. That's why in Chicago, where it's nearly impossible to get a gun, grandma's getting mugged just about every single day. There you go, Roy. That's a great... I'm going to borrow that. You vote for change, you end up with only change in your pocket. That is so true. No, we're going to make change by doing it ourselves, not by asking for permission, but taking the power back and just doing it without their permission in large groups of people. And that's how it works. When enough of us all stand together and say no. No, we're not using your fiat currency anymore. That when you run out, you just print more or just add a couple zeros to your bank account. No, we're not playing that anymore. We don't need you people to tell us right and wrong. You're telling me it's right for a guy breaking into my house who slips and falls and breaks his arm to be able to sue me? No. I don't believe that. Everything in my body screams that that's wrong. And I've been told by police officers and stuff like that, somebody's in your house like that, if you have to shoot them, it's best that you just kill them. I know that's horrible, but you have to spend the night in jail. It's illegal to shoot center mass. You're supposed to aim for arms and then legs and stuff. Hey, he moved. Sorry. He ducked, and his head just got in the way of where his shoulder was. I'm not promoting going and killing people at all, but it's almost what they've forced us to start doing. You know what I don't get? What a lot of people haven't added together, a lot of these sheeple, all these terrorist attacks that happen and all these bad, horrible things, they're always happening to the public. Yeah, exactly, Adam. It's like a fight or flight reaction. But all these horrible... Why don't they ever happen while Congress is in session at the Congress building? Or why didn't they fly planes into the White House while the president was there, or wherever the president was? You know? Why are all these evil, wicked slime balls never the targets? The ones that are voting to go to war and this and that and to terrorize all these other countries. Why aren't those the slime balls that are being attacked? You would figure they would be target number one. That's why I don't buy into a lot of this terrorist nonsense. Because if I actually took that road, if I ever took that road to of violence, it wouldn't be towards the public. It would be the demons that are, you know, telling the military what to do and this and that and all that kind of stuff. You figure they say, oh, they want to hurt us economically and this and that and yada yada, horseshit. I don't buy that for 1 second. I want the public living in fear and supporting sending the military over to places to terrorize other people so we can take the resources out from underneath their feet, or go and grow our drugs to feed to our children these horrible opiates and stuff like that in their country. Because, I mean, poppies would grow great in this country. But then farmers could make way too much money, way too much money off of it. And God forbid we have that. So we'll have a couple companies, 1 or 2 companies, making all the money off of these stuff and all of this profit. The ones that are in cahoots with them. Alright, I'm on my last row, and then I just put on the little final touch. Not bad. This one I'm getting a little bit quicker. This one might be just about 4 hours only, instead of 4.5, 5. I was telling you guys, I do faster work when I'm sitting here talking to you guys. And what it is when my phone goes off, and because Skype is constantly going off usually. I'd always stop for a minute and check it. But when I'm doing this, I don't check any of that stuff. I just sit back and... Yeah, that sucks. Way too many farmers selling out. Way too many. That's not good. All these corporations buy up the farmland, and then they pay the zoning committees little kickbacks to change it from farmland to commercial or residential. Then all of a sudden you don't have farms anymore. Then we have a scarcity. We need to depopulate the area. And the whole food shortage thing is such nonsense. We throw away... No, all the original seeds, all the heirloom seeds and stuff like that. I mean, you can find them. You go to the Amish, put people like that. But, you have all kinds of original... Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, they make it to where farmers that used to be able to pay all kinds of farmhands help, now they have to buy these big giant tractors to do it all themselves. My plant manager, Becky's plant manager right now, 800 acres, and he does most of it by himself. I'm sure he could afford to pay some people, but I'd say he's in the club. Last name is Koch. Says it's Cook, but hey, just Jack. How you doing? I was just thinking about you this morning, hitting you up on email and getting your phone number and all that stuff. I was going through my comment section and I saw that one comment you left. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to get some chats with me, you, Adam, Dave, a couple of these other people going where we're all talking together on the phone. Maybe even just Skype. I think that'd be pretty cool. I love sharing ideas, information. I've got a few groups that I do that with already. You know, I'm part of IRM. I've got my Sunday morning chats with a surveyor, a mathematician slash physicist, and then another gentleman who's pretty, I don't want to say secretive, but he keeps his past. You know, he's had a lot of very interesting jobs and stuff like that. Older gentleman from Australia. And every Sunday morning, we get together for a few hours and talk about, you guys know it, the Great Switcheroo. Me, Gav, Chris, and Glenn. We all get together and talk about how our eyes work and how things appear the way they do and why. And Gav and Glenn have really gone into the history of it, and they know where it was changed. They've turned me on to some amazing old authors and books that talk about the human eye and how it actually works. And then you get Gauss and Riemann and yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get a hold of you, Jack, real soon. But there were all these people who hijacked perspective way back when. And turned it into a ball. And it was all done with mathematics. Mathemagic. Nonsense. They try to say that we see planar in a spherical world when our eyeball is the sphere. Where your, you know, the sensor back there, your retina, is curved on the back of your eyeball. And that's what makes things appear curved. If you take a cube, take a box, just a little box, something like that, and put it right up to your eye real close at the corner and kind of bend it and move it around, and you'll be able to see that curve that is created. Once you pull it away, it's no longer, it's within your range of view, but once you get it real close, it can't hide it. That's how they did this. I know the Great Switcheroo is, I think it's a little over 2 hours maybe. It's long, but it's jam-packed with great information. It's on all of our channels. Gav, Chris, Glenn, and I. And we're getting ready to put out part 2. Chris is editing it. And it takes a while. I mean, we get like 10 to 12 hours of conversation, and we try to condense it, all the good stuff, into just a couple hours. And I'm hoping in this one we're going to really attack, we've been doing a lot of talking about surveyors, geodetic surveyors, and how they create the ball mathematically. Because if you don't know, Chris Van Metre, one of the gentlemen that is part of the conversation, he is a planar surveyor, a real surveyor. Rectilinear experiment. Yeah, but there's a lot of room for error. It's got to be set up perfectly. I mean, it can't be done optically. Too many things can go wrong over large distances and stuff like that. But rectilinear, that seems like that would be the best way to do it. Brian Mullen had the idea. You know, it cost a couple $100,000 to have everything perfectly level to, you know, the micro-inch, micrometer, whatever you want to use, and have it run out over water for just 2 miles. And you should be able to see, it'll look like it's going up as the water is curving down. And it's great in theory, but lining stuff up that perfectly. Yeah, if you try to do it optically, now you can show that we're not on. Yeah, they never show curvature, surveyors and stuff like that. Um, yeah, and there are all kind of surveyors that are in Denver. When we were at the conference, Chris actually met another surveyor from Denver that is all about the Earth not curving as much as they say that it should. Now I'm one of those weirdos that still thinks that there could be some curvature to it. It's not a sphere though. Electrically, Gauss's law itself, one of the people who made the sphere, states that we cannot get a charge from the inside of a sphere. If you have a sphere, all the electricity, either positive or negative, whatever it is, will always go out in a 90-degree angle off of that sphere. Never ever will it go in. There is a zero charge on the inside. And I've done experiments to test this myself. And so how does the ionosphere produce a positive charge above our heads that comes down to the Earth? It's not possible. Poles. I'm sorry, Constance, I'm not sure I understand. I mean, I've done, made an observation of, well, that's what I'm saying, Jack. Optically, I mean, it could be 1 inch over 10 miles, and you would never be able to measure that. You know, but I've bent still water. I've taken still water and put it in a little tray, and with electricity, with a negative below and a positive above, I made it bell-shaped, perfectly still, not moving. So to me, that says that they're, I mean, we've all seen the map, most of us have. The angel standing on the four corners, it's like a brown and white map, and it comes down from Antarctica and goes down, and then bows up in the middle, goes back down, and then goes up. I made that happen myself. And if I can do it on a small scale, then the creator could do that on a large scale. And you would never know. It's not like people, the way electricity works and the way gravity works, or the flow of the electric field, in my opinion, is how everything is held down. It always hits the surface at a 90 degree, no matter where it's at. Depending on what shape is above will determine what shape it is below. Yeah, Orlando Ferguson. But yeah, I think that's one of the reasons. As above, so below. That could be one of the reasons. And then there is Gauss's law on a plane, which states for any positive or negative charge above the plane that you have, there will be an opposite charge on the opposite side of the plane. So underneath that plane, there is an opposite charge. So if you have a positive up here at a certain charge, there will be a negative at the same distance away from the dielectric field, the dielectric plane, on the opposite side. So I mean, I'm not 100% certain about any of this stuff. It could be perfectly flat. I don't know. But in my opinion, it doesn't have to be. Water does find itself level to 90 degrees parallel to the electric field. That's just how that's how everything works. Electricity dictates what happens here in this place. And that's why I got so wrapped up in electricity. And I bought all my little electric devices and toys. I call them toys. Some people call them scientific equipment. The sprites, I've never seen one myself. Um, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, the tides. I think they happen. Now, I did see this when I was playing with my electricity. When I didn't just leave it static and I kept applying a charge to it, I had a little ping pong ball that I spray painted with metallic paint. Then I had my Van de Graaff generator underneath and the plate in between. And as I was charging it, the charge would build up so much and it would bring the ping pong ball down, but then it would discharge and the ping pong ball would flop up. But every time that happened, there was like waves coming out of the center of it. And it made me think of the tide. Maybe that's what we need. So many people want to go to the outside edge, past Antarctica, and see what's out there. I think more answers will lie to the north. Oh, wow. That's awesome, Constance. Yeah, electricity is one of the keys to understanding this place. The more you can understand, if you want to learn about everything I learned from electricity, pretty much, I went and watched Walter Lewin's, really his first 5 or 6. I think most of us have gone through that, not being able to sleep for weeks after finding this out. But Walter Lewin's first, yeah, just Jack. But his 802 lectures on electricity, like the first 5 or 6 are about nothing but how electricity acts in nature. And I watched them each 5, 7, 8 times, some of them. And when you're watching it, it gets real boring because he does a lot of math that is well beyond my understanding. And the math really wants to turn me off and just make me not watch it. But he'll start drawing diagrams to show what the math is saying. And that's where you get those nuggets of information that really stick with you. And then he'll do little experiments to show you why it's happening and why we believe that's how it works. And I didn't take his word for any of those experiments. The first 5 videos, I went and did all of those experiments myself with the stuff that I bought. It's possible. So I don't think that what he was telling me was true. I know that what he's saying in those first 5 or 6 videos of his is true. And that really changed my mind about a lot of things and how I look into this. I have a video out. It says, does it have to be flat? Because I don't know if it does. So just little nuggets to chew on. Now, like I said, it could be. But in my opinion, it doesn't have to be. Electricity could make it to where it appears perfectly flat. And the curve could be so minute and so small of a scale that visually we can never measure it. Even if it was 1 inch per 10 miles, trying to get the rectilinear experiment 10 miles and to just measure it 1 inch, that'd be hard to do. That's why there's a lot of smart people thinking about all this stuff and trying to figure out a way to do it. And but like I said, it's not that important to me anymore. Just being able to show people that we are being lied to and what they're telling us is not the truth. I think that's the most important point of all of this. to shake people up a little bit and say, hey, look, these people are not in our best interest. Yes, exactly, Jack. Exactly. Hey, Carrie. Welcome, darling. Yeah, I actually did that, Jack. With, with a little bit of water on a plate. And I got so much blowback from flat earthers. Said, oh, well, let's see you do that on a lake. It's like, man, I don't have the electricity. You know, I don't have access to that kind of power. But the Creator does. You know? And if I can do it on a small scale, He can do it on a large, or I hate calling Him He, but the Creator can do it on a large scale. Yeah, Zenith, it's why I started my channel. I mean, I did want to try and figure out a way to prove, you know, that it was perfectly flat. But the more I learn about this world and how it works, the less I think it's possible. You know, I don't think we're supposed to know some things. I think that's one of the greatest parts about this whole journey that we're all on. This whole thing we call life is that they're accepting that there will be unknowns that we will never be privy to. And just, you know, instead of worrying about all that stuff and trying to figure it out, which isn't a bad thing, don't get me wrong, thinking and coming up with new ideas and new ways to figure things out is great. It's how advancements happen. But sometimes, hey, you stop that. You are not going through that. No, no, no. Hank trying to go through the tent door while it's closed. I'm almost done here, and then we'll go do some business, okay? I know. Okay. But I think just stepping back, enjoying the beauty that has been created here for us is part of why we're here too. Not figuring it all out, but enjoying this wonderful place where we live. And that was one of the things why I wanted to take my walkabout too. I took it for many reasons, but one of it was just to get out and see this magical place in a little more detail. Not through pictures, but with my eyes. It's been paradigm shifting for me for sure. The things that I've seen, the people I've met, the people I've yet to meet. I know that I'm going to be so enlightened once I get to Florida. And I'm going to be learning so many new things and so much knowledge that I'll be a better person for it. Yeah, there's so much to see. And the one thing I really learned that really saddened me a lot was there's so many places that I went to, national forests, state parks, stuff like that. These beautiful, wonderful places. Hey, Love Kung Fu. Welcome. But there's so many beautiful places to see and so to witness and just behold that people that live right down from the street from them never don't even know they exist. And that saddened me a lot. Yeah, once I get to Florida, and I'm going to start putting together a lot more of these videos that I have self-funded. If anybody wants to buy a hat, it'll be in the description or the last descriptions. I'll throw it out there. I try to every one of these videos at least once. $10 here in the US, 25 internationally, because it's going to cost a little bit more for the shipping. So that's the price, and then plus shipping. Everyone's Roy. But every single one made with love and good intentions, and I appreciate all the help that all of you have given me so far. It's the amount of love that you show me is just overwhelming, and I appreciate it a lot. But I just finished this one. I just got to tie it off and all that, but I'll get that done after I Hey, Scott Last. Quantum 370. Nice. Nice, Roy. Yeah, travel videos are awesome. Scott, oh, it's so Quantum 370. I'm going to have to, oh, I see your picture. There's that beautiful smiling face. Oh, I wish you would have got here sooner. I'm just getting ready to jump off. I got to take Hanker Panker to do some of his business. He's been a really good boy. Let me sit here for a couple hours and finishing the hat up. But oh, awesome, Constance. I'm sending a lot of good vibes your way too, sweetie. I've been thinking about you. Hoping you get that job. Good luck. You're gonna get it. I know you are. You deserve it. Yeah. Friday. Yeah, I will be on chat on Friday for sure, because I'll still be here and I have Wi-Fi. So I will be there on chat too, and I can't wait to see you there. Sorry I haven't been sharing so much in Twitter lately, my pictures and stuff. I just haven't had any internet and stuff like that, so I haven't been as much. And my Monica has me on Facebook now. If you're on Facebook, Zachary Zabala, send me a request, or yeah, and we can be friends on there. I've been putting a lot of pictures on there for my mom and my family and stuff like that, showing them what I'm doing. But I'm going to get going here, folks. Thank you all so much for everything. I love you all. I don't know how to thank you all enough for all the support that you give me, and just all the good vibes I get from all you all. You folks are wonderful, and you make this possible for me to be out here sharing this stuff with you. If it wasn't for you all, I wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you so much. I love you. And let me see. I was going to give you a call here real quick, Adam, but just Jack, I'll get you my info here. I'm going to let my phone charge while I take Hank to go do some business. Yeah, I know. Come here. You want to come say hi? Come here real quick. Come here. Come here. Okay. Come say hi. Come see Daddy talking to this screen again like a crazy person. Yeah. And Hank thanks you guys too. He doesn't know you're out there. He thinks that I'm crazy. He's just talking to on a I don't know what he thinks. He probably thinks Dad's nuts. But he thanks me with the kisses, and then I send them on to you guys. So thank you all. I love you. I might be back on again tonight. I know I got our Iron Realm Media. They say they love you too. They say they love you too. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have them if it wasn't for your Beck either, Roy. Yeah, me too. He came to a good place. And I thank you guys for making me privy that he was out there. Yeah, it was a good visit, Mike. Love you, brother. I love you all. Tell Becky I said I love her, Roy, that I miss her. And I'll see you guys next time. I might be on later tonight. We'll see. Usually the chats happen on Iron Realm pretty late, and then it'll be cold. But we'll see what happens. So I love you guys. Good times for all here. Signing out. As always, thanks for watching.